In the northeastern corner of Siberia, where the winter sun barely kisses the horizon and the earth remains frozen solid for most of the year, lies a place that tests the very limits of human endurance. This is Yakutia, officially known as the Sakha Republic, a vast territory larger than India, where temperatures plunge to depths that seem almost incomprehensible. Here, in the village of OYMYAKON and its surrounding settlements, the thermometer once recorded -71.2 degrees Celsius. That's -96 degrees Fahrenheit. A temperature so extreme that even Mars, on some nights, is warmer. Yet life persists here, not just survives, but endures with remarkable resilience. In this frozen realm, roughly 500 people call OYMYAKON home, while the broader Sakha Republic shelters nearly 1 million souls. They are herders and hunters, scientists and storytellers, bound together by their adaptation to conditions that would seem utterly hostile to human existence. The question that draws us to this place is simple, yet profound. How does life not merely survive, but thrive in one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth? To understand Yakutia is to understand a fundamental truth about life itself, that adaptation is not just possible, but inevitable. That where most see only ice and darkness, communities have found warmth and light. That in the face of nature's most severe challenges, human ingenuity and the resilience of the natural world create something extraordinary. This is the story of survival at the edge of the world. Part 1. The frozen architecture of Yakutia. A land built on ice. Yakutia stretches across more than 3 million square kilometers of northeastern Siberia, making it the largest administrative region in Russia. But size alone does not define this place. What makes Yakutia truly unique lies beneath the surface, a layer of permanently frozen soil called permafrost that extends downward for up to 1,500 meters in some areas. This ice has remained solid for thousands of years, creating a foundation that is both stable and treacherous. Buildings must be constructed on stilts to prevent the warmth from their interiors from melting the permafrost below, which would cause structures to sink and collapse. The geography of cold. The region's extreme cold is no accident of nature. Yakutia's landscape consists of vast valleys flanked by mountain ranges, the Verkhoyansk Mountains and the Stanovets Plateau, that act as natural barriers. These mountains trap cold air in the valleys below, creating what meteorologists call temperature inversions. In OYMYAKON, which sits in one such valley at 750 meters above sea level, the surrounding peaks rise to 1,100 meters, effectively sealing the village in a pocket of frigid air. Recent studies have shown that winter temperatures actually increase with altitude here by as much as 10 degrees Celsius as the cold air pools at the bottom. The rhythm of darkness and light. Life in Yakutia is governed not just by temperature, but by the dramatic swing between darkness and light. During the depths of winter, the sun appears for only 3 hours each day in places like OYMYAKON. For 21 hours, the world exists in twilight or complete darkness. This extended night, combined with temperatures that regularly fall below -50 degrees Celsius, creates an environment where even the simplest tasks become acts of endurance. Yet come summer, the pendulum swings dramatically in the opposite direction, with daylight lasting 21 hours and temperatures occasionally soaring above 30 degrees Celsius. This extreme temperature range, exceeding 100 degrees Celsius between winter and summer, places Yakutia among the locations with the greatest temperature amplitude on Earth. The living ice. The permafrost that underlies this region is not merely frozen ground, it is a vast archive of organic material, ancient seeds, and even perfectly preserved remains of Ice Age mammals. As climate patterns shift, this frozen layer has begun to show signs of change. When permafrost thaws, it releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas trapped for millennia. This transformation presents both a challenge and a window into Earth's distant past, revealing what has been locked away beneath the ice for thousands of years. The cattle that conquered cold. An ancient breed. Among the most remarkable adaptations to Yakutia's extreme environment are the Yakutian cattle, descendants of indigenous Siberian breeds brought to these frozen lands by the Saka people during their northward migration in the 13th century. These animals represent something extraordinary, a breed of cattle that survived in isolation for nearly 800 years, developing characteristics found nowhere else on Earth. Standing only 110 to 112 centimeters at the shoulder, these compact animals possess short, powerful legs and coats that grow 3 times longer than those of ordinary cattle. The cold gene. Scientists studying Yakutian cattle have discovered something remarkable, a unique genetic mutation that these animals share with Arctic seals and walruses. This cold gene allows their metabolism to slow dramatically when temperatures drop, causing their heartbeat to decrease and their bodies to conserve energy with extraordinary efficiency. When winter arrives and temperatures plunge below -60°C, these cattle can maintain their body temperature through thermoregulation systems that would be impossible for conventional breeds. Their bodies build subcutaneous fat rapidly during the brief summer grazing season, creating an insulating layer that sustains them through months of extreme cold. Survival against all odds. The resilience of Yakutian cattle borders on the miraculous. In late 2011, several cows survived alone in the Taiga forest for 3 months, enduring deep snow and temperatures reaching -40°C. They emerged alive, having sustained themselves on whatever browse they could dig from beneath the snow. Another cow left her farm in September and wandered the frozen wilderness until late January, returning just in time to give birth to a calf in -45° weather, outdoors, with no shelter. These stories illustrate not anomalies, but the standard capacity of animals shaped by centuries of natural selection in Earth's harshest inhabited environment. Designed for scarcity. The Yakutian cattle's adaptation extends beyond mere temperature tolerance. Their digestive systems have evolved to extract maximum nutrition from minimal resources. With longer digestive tracts than conventional breeds, they can process woody browse and low-quality forage that other cattle would find indigestible. Their large abdomens house this extended digestive system, allowing them to thrive on vegetation that grows during Yakutia's brief summer and whatever they can scavenge during the endless winter. Every aspect of their physiology, from their small, fur-covered udders to their compact bodies, reflects generations of adaptation to conditions where survival itself is the primary selection pressure. A living heritage. Today, only approximately 1,200 purebred Yakutian cattle remain, all within the Sakha Republic. They are descendants of the Turano-Mongolian group of taurine cattle, which may represent a 4th independent domestication event diverging from Near Eastern cattle some 35,000 years ago. This makes them not just rare, but genetically unique, one of the last pure representatives of an ancient lineage. The Russian Federation has passed conservation laws to protect these animals, recognizing them as both a cultural treasure and a repository of genetic diversity that could prove valuable for future livestock breeding in an uncertain climate. When wolves come. The ancient conflict. For as long as humans have kept livestock in Yakutia, wolves have been part of the equation. The relationship between herds and wolves is complex, woven through with respect, fear, and necessity. In Yakutia's vast territories, wolf populations have historically fluctuated, but in recent decades, their numbers have grown substantially. By the early 2010s, more than 3,500 wolves roamed the Republic, and their impact on livestock became increasingly severe. In 2012, wolves killed more than 16,000 domestic reindeer and 300 horses across Yakutia. These weren't isolated attacks. They represented a systematic predation pattern driven by the decline of the wolf's traditional prey. The population of white hares, a staple of the wolf diet, had crashed, forcing the predators to turn to easier targets, the cattle, horses, and reindeer that herders depended on for survival. In response, the regional governor declared a state of emergency in January 2013, authorizing a 3-month hunting campaign aimed at reducing the wolf population from more than 3,500 to approximately 500 animals. Hunters and hunted. The people who hunt wolves in Yakutia, called wolchatnik, approach their task with a mixture of practical necessity and deep cultural understanding. Hunters speak of wolves not as simple pests, but as conscious beings possessing extraordinary intelligence and sensitivity. Evenki and Evany herders maintain that wolves can trace specific hunters, targeting their livestock in revenge for the killing of pack members. The relationship is understood as a form of communication between persons, human and non-human, engaged in an ancient dance of survival. Hunters employ both modern technology and traditional knowledge, using snowmobiles to track wolves through deep snow, while also practicing forms of hunting magic intended to confuse or misdirect their prey. The pack at the village edge.